Joining me now from Fresno, California, president of Yes California, Marcus Ruiz Evans. Marcus, I've been through this a thousand times on this program. The requirements are delineated very clearly in the United States Constitution. No state can add another requirement. And when Gavin Newsom comes out and he says this is not about one person, he's lying. He is lying through his well-polished teeth. It is about trying to prevent President Trump from being on the ballot in California. But when you step back and you look at the big picture here, Marcus, this is an attack on we the people. This is a fundamental attack on the United States Constitution being proffered by a radical government in a radical state.
I completely agree. Thanks for having me back on. Appreciate the last interview we did a few years ago. And it's exactly like Jeff Sessions said when he was the Attorney General. The multiple lawsuits from California against the federal government challenging everything from this administration is unsustainable. You simply cannot have federal law and then a state saying, well, I choose not to do that and I choose not to do this. Californians are well aware that what they just did is unconstitutional. The bottom line is they don't care. The marijuana legalization was unconstitutional and illegal. They just did it anyways. The sanctuary city status, people here love it. They just did it anyways. Our Attorney General, Xavier Becerra, who I love, is constantly going out there and telling people, we're going to win these lawsuits. Well, they lost on sanctuary cities last week and the border wall in the last 2 weeks. But I was at a rally with immigrants, activists, and lawyers this weekend. We sent your producers the video in front of Thomas Giles, ICE director's house. And I said, hey, look, you just lost to the federal government on the border wall, and you just lost on sanctuary cities, and you already lost on unlimited detention. Nobody knew that at all. There were multiple lawyers, multiple press people, multiple immigrants' rights activists. They had no idea that they are losing. They think California files a lawsuit and it automatically wins.
They're losing. They're losing. In California, you're losing your liberty. That's really what you're losing here. And I don't know about your love affair with Javier Becerra. That's another program. I'll let that slide at this moment in time. But I want to go to the United States Constitution because the Constitution is clear. Article 2, Section 1, and it delineates the requirements to run for president. Natural-born citizen, 35 years old, 14 years a resident. That's it. So here's the problem, Marcus. In California, we know the judges are stacked against the Constitution, and we certainly know the judges are stacked against Donald Trump. And so as this winds its way through the courts, who knows whose eyeballs, what Obama judge, or even dating back further, what Clinton judge is going to see this case and where it goes. It's my opinion that this is up to the people of California. And you proffered it, I think, very well just a second ago there. Too many Californians are asleep at the switch. Too many Californians don't care. Too many Californians are ignorant. Well, it's time to pay attention to what this governor and what this legislature is doing right here, right now.
I hear you, but that's not going to happen. They love the one-party state. They love the governor. They love the liberal policies. As long as you virtue signal you're doing the right thing, that's all people care about out here. Again, we in the Calexit movement are pointing out, hey, California, you file these lawsuits against the federal government protecting undocumented immigrants, and you keep losing. That's not in the newspapers out here. The public is not being informed because they're not going to be. The narrative out here is we can just sue the federal government and force them to do what we want. And that's why there's now a coalition of members in 11 states, including Adam Kokesh, the presidential candidate, and David Weichel, the Senate candidate, multiple conservatives in multiple states saying, look, why don't we vote to have California leave? Because you're not going to change your mind. You're always going to be clogging up Congress. You're always going to be filing crazy initiatives and clogging up the courts. California is not going to learn. There's not going to be a red wave. They're not going to change their opinion. They're constantly going to be pushing back against the federal system.
Okay, all right. So Calexit, your group, it's doubled in its ranks. I don't know exactly what those numbers are. You mentioned there's a couple of candidates who are running for high office who are supporting you. I think your goal is 20 conservative candidates. I think your goal is 20 representation in 20 states. I think it needs to be 49 states. It's great, wonderful, but per the United States Constitution, how exactly do you get this done? Because per the Constitution, we clearly know how states are allowed into the United States. New states may be admitted by the Congress. So how do you exactly extract a state from the Union? This is uncharted territory, and obviously California would be pulled out, extracted from the 50 states, kicking and screaming. Where's the legal route here?
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.